students. Welcome to our first webinar. I want to present our guest today, Slavik Tabakov, Professor Slavik Tabakov, who I know very well since a long time, and we have collaborated in the field of medical physics. Professor Slavik Tabakov is a British-Bulgarian academic in medical physics. He is president of the International Organization of Medical Physics from 2015 to 2018 and vice president of the International Union for Physics and Engineering in Medicine from 2018 to 2022. Professor Slavik Tabakov has supported medical physics professional growth in almost all over the world, mainly in Eastern Europe, Asia, Africa, Latin America. And also, I want to mention that he has established the first medical physics master program in my university, which was also the first one for Bulgaria. Professor Slabakov has established more than 20 medical physics master programs in various countries. He was born in Plovdiv, in Bulgaria, and he has completed his college education with a gold medal. Professor Tabakov has graduated with distinction at the Technical University of Sofia and started his career in medical physics in the Medical University of Plovdiv. After medical physics specialization in the United States, Germany, and France, he taught in 1985 the first digital X-rays equipment in Bulgaria. In 1991, Professor Tabakov moved to King College in Hospital in London. Then he built there in the King College London, the largest in Europe Master in Science Medical Physics, and led it to many years. Professor Tabakov has taken part in over 30 international projects in Europe, European Union, International Agency for Atomic Energy, and the World Health Organization, and many others. He has developed and has led the project Emerald and Emitel, which pioneered e-learning in medical physics. In 1999, his team also developed the first educational website in medical physics. For this project, his team was awarded with the inaugural European Prize for Education, the Leonardo da Vinci Award. Slavik Tabakov has also developed and led the largest project in the professional Emitel, the development of the first electronic encyclopedia in medical physics with a scientific dictionary translated in 31 languages. Now it's used globally. He is also a co-author of 15 books and over 100 papers. Professor Tabakov has been invited to lecture to 37 international conferences in 26 countries and has organized over 30 international conferences and workshops. He is a member of the editorial board of 4 medical physics journals and the CRC Press series of books on medical physics. Professor Tabakov is also coordinating director of the International College on Medical Physics in the International Center for Theoretical Physics in Trieste since 2002. This college has supported the professional development of about third of all medical physicists in low and middle income countries. He has also established the online IOMT journal Medical Physics International and led it with Professor Peris Praus for 10 years. In 2013, Professor Tabakov has established the journal Medical Physics International History Edition. He is also a member of the IOMT Executive Committee from 2000 to 2022 and of the International Union for Medical Physics and Medical Engineering Administrative Council from 2009 to 2025. For his activities in supporting the global growth of the professional this profession, he has received numerous awards, including the Ion Harold Jones Medal and the EFOMT Honorary Medal. I want also to mention that Professor Tabakov is a doctor honoris causa of the Medical University of Plovdiv, and he is a person who is very famous not only all over the world, but he was very highly evaluated in Bulgaria. His name is between the first included in the Encyclopedia of the Notable People of Plovdiv. This is due not only to his activities in the field of medical physics and education, but also to his other interest, and I think he may tell us more than I thought about him. His CV is so large and full of activities and responsibilities. For me, Professor Tabakov is one of the persons with larger contribution in organizing education in medical physics, disseminating knowledge in medical physics, and it's a honor for me that he is our first guest today during our project. Now I give the word to Professor Tabakov and thank him very much for accepting our invitation.
Thank you very much, Docent Tudorova. I shall now share my screen. Can you see my screen? Is it now my screen seen well?
Yes.
Yes, the screen is seen well.
Your screen.
And you could
yes.
hear me well?
Yes.
Okay.
We can.
So thank you for this introduction from the project. And before starting my presentation, I want to say something interesting. I saw Docent Tudorova who had behind her a screen from the Zoom. So now you probably do not know, because I shall speak now about contributions of medical physics to different things, but you probably do not know that this screen was actually invented in medical physics. This was made by a student of mine in King's College London, and the idea at that time, this was 15 years ago, was to prepare such kind of software and mathematical background of the software in order to be able to see the heart which moves on a static background, which is the other anatomy of the body, without having disruptions. So he made it, but later on, this was taken by many software which are used now on internet to prepare a background on the person who speaks, a nice image, or maybe just another type of information. So I'm going to speak about these kind of things which we medical physicists develop not only for medical physics but also for other activities used today in different areas of education and web learning. So first of all, several words about the international organizations. There were many different international organizations around the world, like the IPM in the UK, the Institute of Physical Engineering Sciences in Medicine, which was the first in the world, established in 1943. Then there were other, like the French, the Romanian, the Bulgarian, the Greek, etc. And when they became too many, in 1963 was formed the International Organization for Medical Physics. Its goal was to support the global development of our profession, to help each other, because the big names in the field, like the organization in the UK or the American Association of Physics in Medicine, or in other bigger organizations, were very willingly sharing their expertise and knowledge with other people around the world in order to promote the development of medical physics. When our profession was established in 1963, there were about 6,000 medical physicists in the world. In a similar way, the International Federation of Medical and Biological Engineering was made again through national societies which formed the International Federation. What happened in 1980 was that IOMP, the International Organization for Medical Physics, decided to form federations in the continents. And one of these federations was the European Federation of Medical Physics. Others are the Asian Federation, the Latin American Federation, the Middle East Federation, the Southeast Asia Federation, the African Federation, etc., etc. So this was done, and people started to help each other. But there was a big problem at that time. And this problem was that the profession was not recognized. And the profession was not recognized, and many of us, I'm sure that there are no so old people in the audience, but many of us do not remember that people were employed as technicians, as engineers, as something else, but never as medical physicists, because medical physics and biomedical engineering were not recognized organizations. And they were not recognized because the number of medical physicists and engineers in the world was not sufficient. Due to this reason, in 1980, we decided to form a union, International Union of Physical and Engineering Sciences in Medicine. So this union created a critical mass of people, and this way the leading organizers of the union started to work towards two very important goals. One was achieved in 1999, and this was to become member of the International Science Council. This is the biggest organization in science in the world. Previously, it was called ICSU, International Council for Scientific Unions, and to become member of the International Labour Organization, which is very big. If you have been in Geneva to see the World Health Organization, the International Labour Organization is about 2 times bigger. And this was achieved in 2011. And we achieved all this specifically through making many professional activities and educational and training activities in order to promote the growth of our profession around the world. So at the moment, there are about 150,000 members in 102 countries in our profession. Now, the global recognition of our sciences was very important. And this international union, you may see, starts with the International Geographical Union and the International Mathematical Union. So they were some of the first unions which decided to form a big organization, which was the ICSU, and all national academies of sciences are members of this body. And you could see here down in 1999, the International Union of Physical and Engineering Sciences in Medicine is listed. So we became the 27th scientific union member of ICSU. It took 17 years until all our professions were examined at the highest level of science in the world, and all academics of sciences in the world were voting. So this profession was established as a separate profession. There were master courses before, but they were just on a national basis. In order to have recognized profession on international basis, we had to do that. And I'm showing here some of the main colleagues who took part in these negotiations, because this was, as I said, 17 years. Some of those people are not among us, but finally, in the ancient city of Cairo, the International Science Council accepted that medical physics and biomedical engineering are separate professions, not part of physics, not part of engineering, they're separate professions. And our projects, which I shall describe now, made a lot for this assessment, for this recognition of the professions at the highest level. So I should speak now about the Emerald Project and the first conference on medical physics and education and training, which we made in 1994 in Budapest. So on this photo here, you see people, and there are presidents of almost all medical physics societies at that time in Europe. There were very few societies in Eastern Europe. And in fact, after this conference, colleagues from Eastern Europe started to form their own societies, which later became members of the EFOMP. And also after this conference, we published this book, Medical Radiation Physics, a European Perspective. It is free now. You could take it from this website, emerald2.eu, which shows the status of medical physics education in Europe. Based on this, I made the project EMERALD, which is an acronym of European Medical Radiation Learning Development. It was supported by the European Union and included colleagues from King's College London, University of Lund in Sweden, University of Florence in Italy, University of Lisbon, and the University of Lisbon for Healthcare Technology, and the International Center for Theoretical Physics in Trieste. Our goal was to make specific training timetables, because until that time, training was not structured. Anyone could spend about 4 months in a hospital, and then he was called that he has training. But in this particular hospital, probably they do not have mammographic unit. So the person comes out without knowledge in mammography. Or maybe he would have a very good knowledge in this field, but will not have knowledge in some dental equipment, etc., etc. So due to this reason, we had to make specific training scheme, and this training scheme had to be supported with examples and with images. So this is how we made the project, and we started to work in parallel to this to the development of medical physics in Eastern Europe. The first project which was made was between the University of Patras and the University in Iași in Romania. And some other Greek and Romanian institutions also joined out. In the next year, I started the project between the University of Plovdiv in Bulgaria and the Medical University of Plovdiv in Bulgaria, plus universities from Italy, Ireland, and the UK, King's College London, where I work. And after this, we made similar project with the colleagues from the 3 Baltic states, Lithuania, Latvia, and Estonia. So these were the first specific projects made in our field. And I'm very happy to say that actually the project in Bulgaria was the first educational course outside UK which received UK accreditation. And these projects helped for the spread of the medical physics in many countries, not only in Eastern Europe. I shall show this later on. And I have written this in this paper, which you could take from the Journal Medical Physics International. Also at that time, we prepared a specific project where all European countries were working in order to have a common framework in medical physics education. It was coordinated by a colleague from Greece, Zoe Kulidze. The project which I led was not only to prepare timetables for training, but also to prepare CDs with images. So we actually prepared image databases. These were CDs with image databases, and this was very important because this way one could see what it is there. In order to be sure that this is important for us, we made a specific psychological test with our students in King's College London and also with the students in Bulgaria. And this psychological test was to test their memory. Is their alphanumerical memory better, or is their visual memory better? We all know now that our visual memory is actually better, but this was shown at that time with 78, I think, percentage that everybody who works in our field has excellent image memory. So these images, the educational images, were very important. And it happened that this was not only the first CD in medical physics with images, which we published in 1998, but this was one of the first e-books in the world, not in medical physics, but as e-books. And I still remember how we had to go many times and to persuade the news and agency who are issuing the ISBN numbers that we can receive ISBN not for paper book, but also for CD. And finally we got it. And you could see that it happened that these are the 3 CDs with ISBN in the world. One is from Springer Verlag, which was published on 30th December 97. Our appears to be the second in medical physics, which was published on 19 February 98. And in April 98 was published another development psychology image database from McGraw-Hill. So these are the 3 first CDs. Actually, we were ready before 98, but we published it on 98. And this actually triggered the whole later use of e-books. Now, every single one of you has e-books, but you have to know that actually the e-book started from our profession in the world. After we did this, we started to distribute the CDs with images and with other materials to many people, but the internet was already quite established. Not very established, but in the developed countries was quite established. And we decided to make a website where to put all these materials. This website, emerald2.eu, is a free website, and we published it in 1990. This was the first educational site in our profession. And you could see here the international team of people from UK, Sweden, Italy, Portugal, France, Ireland, Bulgaria, and Czech Republic, who are actually taking part in this activity. And you see here the green places are showing how in so many places in Europe we started to use this website and digital education. We were basing all this on the guides which were published by the American Association of Physicists in Medicine, by the UK IPM, by the EFOM policies. But what we also did was that we developed new content to go into the medical physics education. At that time, there was only one course in medical imaging, and this was not sufficient because the profession of medical imaging, this is also my field, was growing very rapidly. So we decided to split it on two big courses: medical imaging with ionizing radiation and medical imaging with non-ionizing radiation. So now everybody in the world is using this, but actually this was based on our activities in the field. And this is the first website which we did, and I'm very proud to say that we coded it ourselves in HTML, and this website works non-stop for over 26 years. You can go to the website and you can use any of these images. We only ask to show that the images are from this website. Now, some of the materials here are a bit old, but some materials are actually still very useful for the education. For example, parts of the quality control of X-ray equipment is still used all over the world. Actually, through this website, quality control in diagnostic radiology now is not a problem anywhere in the world. And we have included the first training in the world in MRI and in ultrasound. You could see part of this. In order to use it, you have to allow pop-up windows on your browser, and then all the images come in a pop-up windows. And this is how the website looks like. On the top, you could select diagnostic radiology or nuclear medicine or radiotherapy or magnetic resonance, and you could see how from the very beginning the sites started to be used by all students in the world, somewhere between 2,000 and 4,500 per month. When we did it, all these materials were in English. So what was necessary is to have a scientific dictionary of medical physics terms. So when I started this project, people didn't believe that this is possible because it was a huge project which still continues. And in this project, we made a dictionary which initially started with 5 languages. Now these are 31 languages, which in parallel translates the medical physics terms, let's say what is abdominal imaging in different languages. And I was coordinating this project, and the software was made in Bulgaria by Professor Magdalena Stoeva and engineer Asen Svetkov. We published this first on mini CD-ROM, and after that it was published on the web where you could use it. I have to say, when we did it, this automatic dictionary still did not exist. And we, with my wife, described in this book the pioneering of e-learning in medical physics, which is again free book. You could take it from the website emerald2.eu. We describe all this work, and we're very grateful to everybody who contributed to this, because it was through international organizations that we were able to collect so many colleagues, specialists who translated this. This book, I'm very proud to say we are leaving it free, but for the first 3 years, it had over 50,000 downloads. And this simply shows that people started to use our ideas, our method, in other fields of science. These activities were awarded by the European Union with the inaugural award for education, the Leonardo da Vinci Award. And immediately after that, we made a conference to spread e-learning in our profession. So you see here this conference and the delegates. There are about 30 presidents of medical physics societies from Europe and also other parts in the world. Many of those colleagues later became also very important international colleagues in the world. But something what was very important was that in this project we included for the first time IFOMP is a member. Until that time, the professional organizations were simply organizations, but now they became real members. That means they could benefit from receiving funding from the European Union. Others started to follow us. The big EAA website RPOP, which I'm sure you all know, was based on this idea. Later on, it was Professor Sproul's excellent free website, full with materials. I think almost every lecture in medical physics takes images from his website and from the Emerald website. And now we have the IFOMP eLement platform where there are additional other materials because our colleagues were very much encouraged to work into e-learning, into different types of electronic delivery of our education, simply because in our profession, all of us are very good also in computing. At that time, we started something what was called teleteaching, but actually now this is the webinars. But we started it before the word webinars was invented. We actually started e-learning before the word e-learning was invented. We call it electronic learning. We started to develop also e-learning simulations. This is extremely difficult, very effective, but people do not realize how difficult is that. And this is one website for X-ray spectrum processing. We did a fabulous simulation of Geiger-Müller counter. Unfortunately, we then saw that when the software which is used changes its platform, a lot of the things had to be redone again. So after this experience, we stopped doing simulations. Some people still continue, and I'm very happy to see that these appear to be very useful. But people also started to make animated GIF images, and there is a whole lot of free images which you could take from the website of University of Colorado. You could see here the formation of the image, and in nuclear medicine. And these are the sinogram creation. We also started to introducing e-learning labs, and this was very important because it is very difficult to go to make your image quality assessment, for example, in one X-ray room, but you could have the same image quality assessment on the computer. These activities were very important for the global development of medical physics. And you could see how in the period of these projects, there is a significant acceleration of the number of medical physics in the world. And these are places around the world where we have sent materials and we have created different courses, how to use e-learning, how to develop the profession. And I personally made 18 master courses in different countries, in Bulgaria, in Tallinn, etc., in Bangkok, in Zimbabwe. So we help the local people to develop this. This was very important to be made through the International College in Medical Physics in ISTP in Italy. Maybe some of you have been in this college. Because in this college, we changed the college in 2002 together with Paris Pros. we changed the college to be train the trainer. So there we are taking people who will be future lecturers. This college was established by Professor Bertocchi and Professor Anna Benini from ISTP, and I'm its coordinating director now for 24 years. I'm just showing you some images of the people from all over the world here, and you could see this continue. There is a dedicated building of the college. Until now, approximately 1,200 students from 82 low and middle income countries have passed this college. So this is about 1/4 of 4 low and middle income countries' medical physics are directly related with this college in medical physics. And we continued. We published another book on education, and you could take the same book from emerald2.eu. It is free book, and this college triggered a master course for developing countries where they do not have medical physics courses, and IOMP acknowledged this international activity as the best place for education in medical physics, and in 2018 we started teaching them how to make themselves e-learning materials, what is very important. So when I said that, you understand that it is very important not only to develop the new educational technologies, but it is very important to spread them in other countries. So due to this reason, together with Professor Prof, we established the journal Medical Physics International. This is free journal. I'm sure many of you know it. It is available in this website, mpijournal.org. My wife and colleague, Vasilka Tabakov, is the editorial assistant, and at the moment the current editors are Francis Hasford and Samir Tipnis. From 2013 until now, we have published over 6,000 pages of articles. We didn't include this journal into the Science Citation Index on purpose, because the journal is free. If it's on the Science Citation Index, it will be paid. And we want this journal to go to every medical physicist around the world. And you could see that although it is not in the Science Citation Index, this is probably the most read journal in our field, because 10% of the papers have each about 5,000 downloads. So you could see how many hundreds of thousands of downloads we have from this journal, which supported the professional growth around the world. Together with that, we very much started to increase the number of textbooks in medical physics. And there is a CRC Press, this is Taylor and Francis Group, this is the largest scientific publisher in the world, started a series of medical physics and biomedical engineering in 1988, but actually the 9% of the books were developed after 2009, when the editors of this series are John Webster, Richard Kwon Ung from Malaysia, and myself. And together with that, we started working on another activity. And this was a huge IUPESM, this is International Union of Physical Engineering Sciences and Medicine activity, to include our profession inside the ISCO tables. Now you should say, what is ISCO tables? ISCO table is a book which is about 500 pages thick. In this paper, in this book, are listed every single profession in the world. And if your profession is not there, you cannot be employed. This is the book which stays in every ministry of labor in the world, in every country, and in any ministry of healthcare as well. And these are the colleges which we worked, again, many years in order to include our profession into the international level organization. And together with it, we included the IOMP, the International Organization of Medical Physics, as non-governmental organization to the WHO. What means our voice, the voice of medical physicists, is taken into consideration when there are important decisions related to healthcare taken by the WHO. I'm listing here the people who have taken part in this activity just because their name should be known. And this is the classification of this occupation, where the code of medical physics is 2111, and for biomedical engineering is 2149. So this was very important, as I said. And after this, in all countries, people who are employed, they know that in this particular institution, this profession, medical physicist and biomedical engineer, exist. So you could have, after that, a PhD called PhD in medical physics. Previously, it was not possible. My PhD is called PhD in medicine, although it was medical physics. Simply, you would say that this is probably bureaucracy, but it is very important activity because all this is actually approved by the United Nations Council in New York. It was such a big achievement that we decided to celebrate it by opening the International Day of Medical Physics. So as soon as we were approved, we opened the International Day of Medical Physics, and in 2016, I introduced the IDMP Award, which I'm sure some of you know, and I'm sure some of you are actually having this award. We made it on purpose to be on the 7th of November, the International Day of Medical Physics, to be on the birthday of Marie Curie, because this way we wanted to persuade more ladies to take part into our profession. So what I was discussing now was the development of different educational materials by the International Organization of Medical Physics to boost the growth of the profession. And you could see here the workforce necessary for radiotherapy. This is a very important WHO activity, predicted that in 2024, in radiotherapy and in medical physics, that means also imaging and radiation protection, we shall need minimum 60,000 specialists in the world. And this is our predictive model. So at the moment, we are below the prediction because now we are here. 2026, we have a bit more than 30,000, but according to the model, we need to have close to 40,000 members in order to fulfill this prediction. So a lot more is necessary by people like you in this project, which is very important in order to boost the global development of our profession. Why it is necessary? It is necessary not only for our profession in our own countries, but it is necessary on a global scale, because the big problem in our profession is the uneven distribution of medical physics around the world. You could see in US and Canada there are 9,800, but for example, in the Asian Federation, where there are most of the people living there, are only 6,500. In Africa, about 700. So that means if we say how many physicists per million of population exists around the world, North America has about 24 medical physicists per million. In Europe, approximately 11, 12 medical physicists per million, but in Africa, 0.4 medical physicists per million of population. You shall ask, but why is this important? Well, it is important because these days medicine is medical technology. If you remove scanners, if you remove linear accelerators, if you remove ultrasound equipment, electrocardiographs, etc., from the medicine, it goes back into the 19th century. So contemporary medicine is very important to be supported by medical technology. So in order to spread further that, we created an IOMP school, which for the first time met in Bangkok in 2016. And we included new content into the medical physics education. This was management of medical equipment and artificial intelligence in medical physics. Management, why? Because we all take part into the making a specification, into purchasing of new equipment. Here we work together with the clinical engineers, but we have to know how this works. AI, why it is necessary? Well, this is the future, and we have to definitely go into this field. During the pandemic in 2020 happened something very important. We had all these images, we had already teleteaching, but we couldn't travel. So due to this reason, we started to make webinars, and now there are a lot of webinars by the IOMP, by the EFORM, by the American Association of Medical Physicists. So all these are recorded and they're free to go and to listen. So this way you could see the state-of-the-art information and lectures by leading professionals. So this was another very important field. using internet for these activities. I have left the encyclopedia project for the last discussion. This was a very big project. I started in 2005, and it still continues. It was initially funded by the European Union. Now it is like a activity which is supported just by the people. This is again a free website which is called emitel2.eu, and this website is very important. If you go there, you just write your word which you are looking for. For example, you may put Hill effect in diagnostic radiology, and it will give you the brief explanation together with images. So many lecturers are using it. At the moment, the encyclopedia has 3,900 articles and links. And you could see here, this is just the core of the people who are working into the encyclopedia. Again, there are presidents and vice presidents of many societies around the world, and we all did this for free. And this was such a huge project that it had to go 8 phases in parallel. So there were about, let's say, 50 people working on diagnostic radiology, 50 people from different countries working in radiation protection, 50 in magnetic resonance, about 100 in radiation therapy, etc., etc. And all this had to go in parallel. I and my wife were coordinating this. And on this photo, you could see us in front of the part of the index of the encyclopedia. So you could imagine what a big project this was. At the beginning, nobody believed that it is possible this project to be done, but now, with the work of about 400 people from 36 countries, we succeeded to make this, and this is free for everyone to use, lecturers and students. This project is not only the website. Below the website, there are 2 more websites. This is a whole content management system which again was made by our colleagues, Professor Magdalena Stova, Engineer Slavik from the Medical University in Plovdiv in Bulgaria. They received a medal for that. And again, this website is working non-stop now, 15 years. We updated the whole of the dictionary there, and now the dictionary allows multiple translations. I have given you here an example how the Greek word dozi is translated into Japanese, and then if you take this Japanese kanji and you want to translate from Japanese to Italian, it will give you here the word dose in Italian. So it could create between any language, let's say between Finnish and Arabic or etc. And these are 31 languages included now. It is worked constantly by about 2,000 specialists per month. All the encyclopedia was a very complex project. You could see here part of the paperwork, but what is important is that because this is a digital project, it has about 150,000 files which are separated in 25,000 folders. So you could imagine that the coordination of this project was very complex. We completed the 2nd edition in 2022. It is now on the internet. Of course, you could buy it on a book, but the books are very expensive. We had a lot of discussions with CRC Press about this encyclopedia, which they are selling for about $500. But on the internet, it is free, and there we have included many new materials in our field because we are a very dynamic profession, as you know well. And this is part of the images, which you could see what kind of novelties we have included there. We have also included phase contrast imaging, propagation-based imaging, transient elastography. There are many artifacts there, different types of methods used in imaging, different kinds of radiotherapy activities, showing how to calculate, for example, the shielding of MR equipment. And as I said before, we have included new things like non-ionizing measurements, non-ionizing radiation activities, imaging, etc., and also lots of activities related to the clinical engineering and management of medical equipment, which we now have to support our colleagues from engineering into purchasing of new equipment. And this is important because in one equipment, for example, in King's College Hospital, there are about 14,000 different types of medical devices. You start from, let's say, a very small finger measurements of the oxidation, and you end with magnetic resonance imaging. But actually, the part of the budget which is associated with our field, with radiotherapy and imaging equipment, is about 2/3 of all the other money. So that means we have to know how to help the hospital make a good purchase of this kind of equipment. You could see the use of the encyclopedia. Per month, there are about 40,000, 50,000 searches inside the encyclopedia from Europe, from Asia, North America, South America, etc. And these are usually colleagues, lecturers, and students who go there in order to take information. So don't worry, promote it. It is free, and you could use it anytime and anywhere. These are the number of the names of the people, and these are the flags of the countries which took part in this huge project. I'm not going to read them all. I just want to show you their faces from all over the world, and most of them are taking part in these huge projects through the international organizations, because the encyclopedia was supported by the IUMP, the International Organization of Medical Physics. And you could see here different translations, etc. These are the colleagues who have taken these translations. And I can continue like that, but have to say that myself, as the coordinator and developer of this project, I'm extremely grateful to all those people who share their free time, because all of this work was done in the evenings and in the weekends, in order to have this fantastic material for the colleagues. And here I'm showing you some of the books, not in order to read them, but in order to show that these books exist. If you go to the CRC series, and if you want to buy a book, if you click that you are a member of IFOM and the IUMP, and every one of you through your national organization is a member of IFOM or IUMP, you get 25% discount from the purchases of these books. And I continue with these books, and there is another more screen with newer books, which you may find there. So you go there to this website. It is now routledge.com, and you put just series in medical physics and biomedical engineering books, and you shall find the website where all these books are listed. Of course, you could find them also on Amazon. So at the end of this discussion, I just wanted to say that what I said was actually the important part of it is related to the fact that equity in healthcare remains a big issue for everyone in the world. You could see here where are the lighted parts in the world where there is very good healthcare, but in other activity, in other places, it is not so. And the activities of all international organizations in medical physics are pivotal for the global development of the profession through education, training, and spreading new educational technologies, for which I told you now. And all this is in support of the global healthcare around the world. I shall finish here. I would like to thank you all for your attention, and also would like to thank the project leads for this invitation here. And I would like also to thank the colleagues to whom I collaborated, and IFOM members and officers for the medal they gave me last year for these activities, which I described because I had decided to dedicate all my professional life into the medical physics education. Now, finishing here, I shall just ask you for questions, which I shall be happy to answer. Thank you again.
We have a question. As you have a lot of experience with creating master programs in different countries, did you follow a particular template for the MAC program related to the curricula and the practical or clinical part? It's a question given by Professor Bashkim Ziberi from North Macedonia.
Yes, yes. First of all, in this paper, which I have published, and I show you the development in Eastern Europe, you could see the whole curriculum which we developed based on, at that time, the existing curricula and syllabi, not only curriculum, but syllabi. That means every single hour, this is about 800 hours. And all this is based on the guidance from the EFOM, from IAEA, and from the AAPM, the American Association. Based on that, we gathered and created a book with within the TS series in the International Atomic Energy Agency, which lists all these guidance to be used for developing of new courses. And speaking about the North Macedonia, I had arranged years ago, maybe in 2005-06, a colleague from there to come and it was called, oh gosh, I forgot the name. And also Vesna was there. So you could take free the books from the International Atomic Energy Agency about the guidance how to create the books. And from this paper, which I have published, the history of medical physics in Eastern Europe, you could see all the syllabi, and then you could start to develop them, because you could see that the percentage which is necessary for the introduction to anatomy, what percentage of the hours is necessary for, let's say, non-ionizing radiation, what percentage of time is necessary, how many hours and how many laboratories and practicals are necessary, for example, for non-ionizing, from measurement of ionizing and non-ionizing radiation, etc., etc. So yes, there are guides. Everything is based on these guides. But these guides are also made as specialists like us. I took part in the development of the first guides in the UK, in the IPM guides, back in 92, 93.
We have a different question from Julian Petrișor, head of the Department of Physics, University of Craiova. Is there any chance that some books on medical physics to be available in electronic format for free?
Right now, I mean, on the internet, all these emerald and emitter materials are for free. Now, you're asking whether someone could download directly a PDF book. This is actually the question, as I understand it. Now, the PDF books, unfortunately, a lot of the publishers do not allow PDF, simply because they cannot take sufficient funding out of that, because the PDF, everyone could distribute it to someone else. But you know that all the books of IAEA, International Atomic Energy Agency, they are free. So you could download them from there. There is a whole book on diagnostic radiology, a book on nuclear medicine, a book on radiotherapy. I'm sure you know them. You go there and you download them for free. And they have a lot of information. They're excellent. At the moment, we are making a new book on diagnostic radiology. Again, part of the International Atomic Energy Agency. So these are the books. Otherwise, the IUMP has an agreement with the CRC Press that a number of books will be given for free to low and middle income countries, and countries in Eastern Europe are under this category, low and middle income countries, and it could be arranged, for example, through IUMP, paper books to be received through IUMP free directly into the country which is asking for that. But this is something what IUMP will have to agree, and IUMP informs the CRC Press about the book. Usually the postage of the book should be paid by the recipient university.
We have a third question. In your experience, what are the biggest challenges in translating global medical physics standards into local educational system, particularly in countries with limited resources? This question is from Redona Bexeti from North Macedonia.
Right. Well, That is a very difficult question, because when we established all this international organization, our goal was exactly to support that, and we're supporting it very much. Now, when it comes to the education, we have made so many free webinars and so many free websites. I mean, the websites which I have described you now, I'm paying for my own money now for 15 years. So we are doing that, but also the local people will have to try to do themselves whatever possible. For example, you have to try to arrange, let's say, a laboratory for the students, how to measure, let's say, the focal spot size of one X-ray equipment. Well, I mean, for this you have to speak with the local hospital. You have to try to find whatever possible means in this communication in order to arrange this activity for your students. I mean, you know that even in King's College London, I have now retired, but when I was director, most of our lectures and practicals were after 5 o'clock, when the hospital doesn't work. So I go there with the students into the MRI room or into the ultrasound room, and we show them different images, and we show them how to operate the equipment. We show them what is a problem with ultrasound equipment, what is the difference of the image with one transducer and with another ultrasound transducer, etc. So the problem is, and the problem exists, but in Europe, this is not a problem. The bigger problem is actually in Africa, where unfortunately most of the equipment doesn't work, and the management of the hospital doesn't allow the equipment to be used for educational purposes. I don't know, did I answer what was necessary?
We hope. We have also a comment, not a question, from Mariana Murgeva. Wonderful presentation, dear Professor Tabakov, dear Slavik. Congratulations for all your efforts and help for the development of medical physics in many countries, and especially at the Medical University Plovdiv during these years.
Thank you very much, Professor Mujira. It was actually the whole of our work of medical physics is work with our medical colleagues. We are there, left hand or right hand, I don't know. This is what they shall say. But what I could encourage everybody who listens is to create excellent communication link between medical physicists, medical engineers, and the medical doctors, because the problem comes from the medical doctors. They know what is the problem. We could only help them to solve this problem. This is the most important part, is the collaboration. If we do not have our medical colleagues with the university hospitals or whatever is the hospital there behind us, we will be able to actually teach our colleagues how to develop, how to apply our profession into the field. And there are so many activities which were actually applied by medical physicists only through this kind of collaboration. I remember many years ago, we were in medical university. We were working with one of our colleagues to find a way to decrease the number of days for which a person who has a surgery of the Achilles tendon will be rehabilitated, and this was decreased with about 15 days. But I know how to show it with the computers, with the CT scanner. But my colleague, but I didn't know the problem. My colleague, who was orthopedic surgeon, he knew the problem, but he didn't know how to prove it. It is only through this collaboration when we could receive a tangible result. It is extremely important.
Thank you. I want to close this meeting, if other people don't have other questions, saying a big thank you to our guest, Professor Slavik Tabakov, for his hard work in this field, for the support that he brought to the international recognition of this profession, medical physicist. For his effort, for his desire to share such information with the young generation who need this type of information in this profession, for your effort to meet us. Dora, also, I want to say a big thank you that you facilitated this meeting. I hope that everyone enjoyed this meeting, and I will send on email a questionnaire for the evaluation of our event. The questions are more focused on organization. Thank you.
Michaela, let me also tell a
Please.
few words. In the end, I also would like to thank a lot to Professor Tabakov for this extremely valuable talk he gave today to our students and also to our colleagues. I think his a life history of medical physics, of modern medical physics, as we have seen from this his presentation. And he has shared with us not only his personal experience, but it was just history of medical physics in development. It was a lot of there were a lot of new things, I think, for students. He has shared so many links about e-learning, books, and other electronic materials which can be used from colleagues and from students as well. And not lastly, I want to thank him for the inspiration, because for me personally, he was always a person who is experienced my passion for medical physics, and I believe this will be transmitted also to our students who are present today during this webinar. Thank you very much, Professor Tabakov. Thank to Michaela and other organizers. Thank to all participants from our partner countries, Greece, North Macedonia, Romania, and Bulgaria as well.
Dora, please allow me to introduce Professor Bashkim Ziberi, who wants to tell you who will be the next guest. Please, Bashkim.
So, Professor Tabakos, thank you very much. It was really very informative talk, in fact, and it was also for us, not only for students, very, very useful. Especially about the development of medical physics, but also where to get a lot of information that we need about teaching medical physics, educational part in medical physics, and also organizational part. With this, I want to inform all the participants here so that our next guest will be Professor Wilfred Ngwa. He is a professor at Johns Hopkins University in US. He is the founder of Global Health Catalyst. He is also a program manager at ARPA-H agency in US. He just got the permission from the Department of Health of the US government to lead one very important project in combining medical physics in terms of nanotechnology to treat different non-communicable diseases. He has a lot of experience also in at Central University of Florida, University of Harvard, Faculty of Medical School of Harvard, and he will speak about the applications of medical physics and especially related to artificial intelligence and its applications in building different, let's say, centers, especially in Africa and low and middle income countries, include mostly in Africa and Southeast Asia, now to implement and to, let's say, little bit substitute and also fulfill the gap that we have, especially the lack of professionals, radiologists, medical physicists in these regions, and how we can use AI to, let's say, fulfill this gap. So be tuned, please, about the next webinar that we will announce it in the next time.
Thank you so much,
Oh,
Bashkim.
okay.
Michaela, I suggest that we make a common photo now. If people are able to turn camera, who is willing to appear on the photo, this will be good for the report of the project. And let somebody of you takes this photo. Maybe Professor Raikova or somebody else.
We took some pictures.
Yes, you take, but we had camera closed before. And let us have more
Yes.
participants now. So who is taking a photo?
I took a few.
Okay, excellent. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Is there somebody else who is willing to tell a few words or post any question, or we may conclude here?
I just want to say that I have included the websites into the chat, so people could take them directly from there. It was a pleasure to be with all of you.
Thank you so
And
much.
good luck with the project.
Thank you. As you can see, we have a nice team and we increase day by day as communication, as collaboration. Yeah, you told us a very nice word. Collaboration is very important in every team. Collaboration is a word that put people together, unify. Thank you so much for your presentation, and hope that we will keep the connection with you, because you are, as Dora said, the source of inspiration, and in the same time a source of training materials. We need training materials for our students. We want to help our countries to progress in medical physics. So we are grateful for your work, for your help, for your support.
Thank you.
I wish you a nice day, a wonderful day, evening. I don't know, I'm confused. I'm in the USA. So next time, a flavor from the USA, now from the Europe. We will travel a lot together. Thank
Okay.
you. Bye.
Bye-bye, everyone.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Goodbye.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.